Hey guys, Tuna Marine here with another video. This one I'm talking about the island hopping campaign that the Marines and a bit of the Army and of course the Navy took part in. What's going on? Took part in World War II. Actually, let me make sure the volume on this is down. I think it is, but let me just verify. Dun, dun, dun. Not here. System. Not there either. Where is it? Interface. Is it there? I don't fucking know. Oh, sound, it is there. Okay, it's down. Alright. So the island hopping campaign, whether you agree with how they approached it or not, was honestly the only way to actually get the job done. There really was no other option. I'm uploading the video log of me right now, so I'm making sure it's good. There was no choice for them, really, because the Japanese own those islands. They own practically every island in the entire Pacific, and if we wanted to strike at their island, at Japan itself, you had to take those islands because you just didn't have a choice, because they had air superiority. They could reach out further. For us to be able to bring in ships close enough, because there was only a couple 100-mile range at the time for airplanes, and which means you had to be within a couple 100 miles of the mainland. And with the Japanese owning as much as they did, they could easily hit you before you had the ability to defend yourself. And so the choices that they really had at the time were not a lot. With the technology they had and just the shit they were dealing with, you just didn't have a choice. We couldn't go up through Russia, through that, like, north of them, because we didn't really know where we stood with Russia. We ended up being allies with them through the end of World War II, but that doesn't mean that we could trust them entirely. They just, you just couldn't. And so we couldn't go that way. Chances are they wouldn't let us anyway. I don't even know if we tried, but we couldn't go through there. It just wasn't an option. And so we had to jump through the islands. It was tough. It was dirty work. It was not easy in any sense of the word, but they got it done. They got it done because they had to. Everyone back in the States, everyone who had the ability to... Jesus, this is going to be a shitty fucking event here. What was I saying? Everyone in our country was relying on them getting the job done, because at that point, Japan was our greatest fucking threat. Europe was a threat, and Germany, the Nazis, but the bigger threat at that time was Japan, because the Nazis would still have to go through the British to get to us, and then trying to launch an offensive on U.S. soil from Europe with everything else they were contending with just wasn't an option for them at that point. So even if they did wipe the floor with the British, which wouldn't have happened because the British are some tough bastards, but it would have taken them probably years to get the planning, the manpower, the equipment, everything they needed to launch an effective attack on us. Would have taken a long time. So for us at that point in time, the main threat was the Japanese, and we hit them hard. We hit them hard a lot faster than they thought we were going to be able to. Jesus, my B-res is down, man. Can't do shit for you. I did stats buff, idiots. And so we just started pushing. We hit them in Guadalcanal, and it took them off guard because they didn't expect us to hit that quickly. We hit a lot faster than anyone thought we were going to be able to. and we hit them well. We hit them to the point where they couldn't beat us. No matter what they tried, they couldn't beat us, which is fucking awesome because we whooped their ass. And then we pushed up from there. And every battle, don't get me wrong, every battle we lost a lot of Marines, we lost a lot of soldiers, we lost a lot of everything, but we got the job done. And hold on, let me. And so we ended up doing it. And luckily, as much as people may disagree with dropping the atom bomb on Japan, or the 2 atom bombs rather, you could argue both ways for it. You really could. But fact is, if we did not drop it on them, they would have kept fighting. And it was estimated that we were going to lose 1 million men if we would have had to launch a traditional like beach-based assault on them, onto the Japan itself. And so, it honestly, was it worth the risk for us? Not really. To be honest, not really. And at that point, they had made it very clear it was them versus us. It sucks so many civilians died, but those civilians would have wanted us dead anyway. So, you know, it is what it is, really. But the island hopping campaign itself was very well done. You could argue that some islands that we took were not needed to be taken, which is fine if that's your argument. At the time, they were obviously taken because they thought they had to be taken. They didn't just waste guys. They didn't just waste equipment, manpower, any of that sort of thing, because they wanted to. Is if somebody attacked them, if we attacked a specific island, there was a reason behind it. And this was brought all the way up to the top of the chain of command. You know, you don't just send a fucking division worth of Marines in somewhere without, you know, somebody higher up making some sort of command decision on it. So it was all done with a lot of thought. And looking back, sure, you could argue that some of the islands weren't needed, but at the time, you know, hindsight is 20/20. So, yeah, it is what it is. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all your guys' support, closing in more or less on 1,000 subs. YouTube's been weird, saying I do have 1,000 subs and then not, and then like just bump me back and forth, and I don't know what's up with it. So I'm just gonna go with I'm fucking close enough, and thank you, and I really do appreciate it. And I will continue to bring videos and bring everything else you guys like to see. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Semper Fi.